The feather moved before the man did. It lay behind glass, sealed beneath a preservation field, labeled as decorative mourning jewelry by scholars who had never buried a master with their own hands. The white edge had browned with age. The red along its curve had darkened into the color of old blood. Its black cord rested coiled on velvet, tied in a knot no translator had ever understood. Then the cord tightened, not by hand, by oath. The preservation field flickered once. The museum system opened a silent diagnostic. Organic relic containment fluctuation. The field steadied, then failed. The glass case did not explode. It did not scream alarm. It simply unlocked with a soft click, the kind of sound a servant might miss and a thief might love. The feather lifted from the velvet. For one breath, it hung in the cold blue-white light. A small thing. A dead thing, the museum would have said. Then it turned toward the center of the room. The cocoon answered. A red-black crack opened from crown to base, thin as a hair and deep as grief. White feather veins burned beneath the surface. They did not blaze. They remembered. Pale lines spread through the crystal like wings drawn by a dying hand. The cleaning drones had gone. The cameras were looking elsewhere. The exhibit room belonged to the impossible. The crack widened. Fine red-black dust slipped down the cocoon and touched the polished floor. More followed. Tiny flakes rose into the air, held their shape for half a breath, then collapsed before they could become evidence. That was the cocoon's final mercy. The future had spent centuries naming it, scanning it, ensuring it, claiming it, transporting it, studying it, and failing to understand it. It would not leave enough of itself behind to reward the failure. The crystal did not burst. It breathed. A sound moved through the room, soft and sharp, like ice under a winter river. The outer shell loosened in layers. Red-black crystal peeled away, turned to dust, and drifted downward in a slow crescent around the display base. The white veins burned last. They hung in the air like the outline of a wing. Then they fell. Inside, a man exhaled. The breath crossed 600 years and entered the museum as if the room had been waiting to become air. His bare foot touched the display platform, then the other. He was taller than the cocoon had suggested, powerfully built, but not swollen with vanity. His strength sat close to the bone, disciplined into the lines of his shoulders, the weight of his stance, the quiet readiness of his hands. Long, deep red hair fell over his back and across one side of his face, darker in the cold light, almost black where the shadows caught it. His skin was warm tan beneath the dust, weathered in a way no preserved body should have been. His features had sharpened into manhood inside the oath. Strong jaw, rugged face, eyes closed but not peaceful. Nothing about him looked rescued. He looked interrupted. His robes were ruined. Deep red cloth, weathered black layers, torn sleeves, scorched edges, old travel wraps, a belt frayed by time and pressure. The fabric should have been dust. Instead, it clung to him in ragged obedience, held together by cultivation residue, old blood, and the stubbornness of things that had served a purpose too important to rot. The last crystal flake fell from his shoulder. It struck the platform, dissolved into dust, and left no shard. The man opened his eyes. The museum lights reflected in them. He did not move. A weaker mind would have panicked. A foolish one would have shouted. Ren Zhaohun did neither. His first breath was shallow. His second found pain. His third found balance. The body remembered before the mind understood. Breath low, weight settled, fear acknowledged. Fear did not lead. He stood on the display platform, surrounded by glass cases, cold lights, silent plaques, dead objects, and a floor so polished it reflected him like water that had forgotten the sky. He listened. No wind, no rain, no fire, no children breathing in a tunnel. No Master Shen. That absence entered him slowly. The shelter was gone. The stone chamber was gone. The men breaking through the door were gone. The hammers, the shouting, the taste of smoke, the mud under the hidden road, June's small hand on his sleeve. Gone. Ren turned his head. The motion was small, controlled, and dangerous in its restraint. He saw the empty case at the back of the room. The feather floated toward him across the exhibit hall. It did not fly like a bird. It moved like something being pulled along a thread that had never snapped. Ren watched it come. His expression did not change, only his hand rose. The feather settled into his palm. For a long moment, he stared at it. The cord lay across his skin, impossibly intact. The vow knot was still there, tight, correct. No museum hand had untied it. No scholar had improved it. No preservation field had smoothed the frayed edge where Master Shen's fingers had once pressed the cord into place. Ren touched the base of his right ear. There was an empty place there. Not a wound, a memory in the flesh. He tied the feather back where it belonged. The cord brushed his skin, light as breath, heavy as a grave. His eyes closed once, not prayer, not weakness, recognition. When he opened them, the room had not become kinder. At his feet, the crescent of red-black dust marked where the cocoon had been. A thin white residue rested along the edge, shaped almost like feather barbs before the air disturbed it. Ren crouched. His knees bent without sound. He touched the dust with 2 fingers. It warmed, only for him. Then it cooled, ordinary as dirt. The cocoon had carried him as far as it could. The road had opened. He stood. A faint hum passed along the room. Ren turned sharply. Near the ceiling, a black glass eye watched him from the corner. He stared at it. The camera stared back. No breath, no posture, no intent. Only a small, round darkness sitting inside a metal shell. Ren waited for it to reveal its purpose. It did nothing. His hand moved toward his waist. There was no sword. His fingers found only old belt wraps and an empty fitting where a blade should have rested. The memory of Master Shen's voice pressed into him. Do not draw steel for pride alone. Ren's hand lowered. The black eye rotated away. He did not understand it. He understood enough to dislike turning his back on it. Slowly, he stepped down from the platform. The polished floor was cold beneath his bare feet. Too smooth, too clean. Stone carried memory. Wood carried warmth. Packed earth carried the truth of weight. This floor carried nothing. His reflection followed him underfoot like a pale ghost. He took one step. His body trembled. Not visibly, deep. The kind of tremor hidden in muscle, bone, and meridian after too much stillness. 600 years of breath had kept him alive. It had not given him the comfort of waking gently. Ren let the tremor pass. He did not fight it. A feather did not fight the storm. He breathed until his body remembered the shape of standing. Then he walked. The first case held a training sash, red cloth, black edge, white feather stitched by hand. Ren stopped before it. The sash was faded nearly brown. It lay flat behind glass, held open by invisible preservation pins. The plaque beneath it glowed in 3 rotating languages. He recognized enough old characters to read the title, Red Crane Ceremonial Belt. Then the translation shifted, used in mourning dances by pre-collapse human martial performers. Ren read the words twice. His face remained still. His fingers touched the glass. The sash had belonged to a disciple, not a performer. The knot pattern marked third-year training, not ceremony. The repaired tear near the left edge showed where the boy had caught it on the lower cliff path because he always cut turns too close when carrying water. Master Shen had made him mend it himself. Ren remembered the boy laughing with a needle between his teeth. Brother Cao had laughed too. Later, Brother Cao had screamed once in the burning courtyard and stopped too quickly. Ren's fingers pressed harder against the glass. The surface did not yield. A warning icon pulsed red beneath his hand. He looked at it. The symbol meant nothing. The warning tone meant something. Do not touch. He withdrew his hand, not because the museum commanded him, because the sash had already endured enough strangers. He moved on. The next case held a broken sword guard. Ren stopped breathing for one count. The metal rested on a black stand, split through the center. The crack ran from the upper hook to the grip notch, clean at first, jagged near the end. A small depression marked the place where a thumb had pressed over years of use. He knew that guard. Not from the final night, from morning practice. Brother Cao had carried it for 2 winters before earning a real blade. He used to polish it badly, leaving oil in the corner groove. Sister Ma had scolded him each time. He claimed the stain gave the sword character. The plaque called it an ornamental fragment. Ren looked at the crack. He saw the strike that had broken it. A downward cut intercepted late. Cao's wrist turned to spare a child behind him. The blade broke the guard because Cao chose the child over his own hand. Ornamental. Ren's lips parted. No sound came. His silence was not empty. It was crowded. The museum room hummed around him, full of quiet machines and false certainty. Ren moved to the next display, a cracked disciple token, a pair of old practice rings, a torn sleeve, a small wooden training marker carved with a character for breath. Each object had a label. Each label was partly right. That was what made it cruel. A complete lie could be dismissed. A clumsy fantasy could be laughed away. These plaques had done worse. They had preserved facts without meaning. They had kept dates, materials, surface descriptions, guest functions, and academic caution. They had stripped the weight from everything. They called the breath marker a game piece. They called the practice rings decorative wrist weights. They called the torn sleeve evidence of ritualized costume distress. Ren stood before that one for a long time. No Red Crane disciple had ever distressed a robe for ritual effect. Life did that well enough. A faint blue light appeared beside him. Ren turned. A transparent figure had formed in the air. He stepped back, weight lowering, hands loose. The figure was human-shaped, but made of light. A woman's voice spoke in a smooth museum tone. Welcome to Gallery 7. This exhibit contains surviving artifacts from the Red Crane Meridian, a minor pre-collapse martial tradition associated with symbolic avian movement, grief customs, and early human body discipline performance. Ren stared at the light woman. She smiled with perfect emptiness. Would you like to begin the guided educational experience? Ren did not understand the words completely. He understood enough. Minor, symbolic, performance. His eyes narrowed. The projection continued, mistaking stillness for consent. Scholars believe the Red Crane Meridian practiced stylized movement patterns intended to represent emotional harmony with natural forces. One such form, commonly translated as empty step, may have functioned as ceremonial dance, meditation exercise, or theatrical combat display. The light woman lifted one hand. A second projection appeared beside her. A performer in reconstructed red robes stepped through a bright, clean version of the empty step. Ren watched. The performer's robe was too new. His foot landed too heavily. His breath rose too high. His shoulder announced the movement before the weight shifted. Every angle was beautiful. Every principle was dead. Ren stared at the projection until his expression became almost peaceful. If Master Shen had seen it, the old man would not have shouted. He would have asked for a chair. Then he would have sat down in front of the performer and said again until the sun grew old. The thought almost reached Ren's mouth. Almost. The projection finished its movement with a graceful flourish. A flourish. Ren closed his eyes. Somewhere beneath the mountain of grief inside him, a small, dry ember of irritation survived. Good. He was still alive. The light woman smiled wider. Some modern instructors have adapted this movement for heritage fitness, cultural theater, and formal greeting demonstrations. Ren opened his eyes. No. The word was quiet. The projection continued. Please repeat or rephrase your request. Ren looked at it. The light woman waited. He did not know whether it was a spirit, servant, illusion, or trapped echo. It had no breath, no fear, no impatience, no way to be corrected. That made it worse than a bad student. A bad student could improve. The projection flickered. Would you like to hear more about decorative mourning jewelry? The feather at Ren's right ear brushed his neck. The air changed around him. He turned slowly toward the empty feather case. The plaque still glowed beneath it. Red crane feather ornament, likely worn during symbolic grief ceremonies, associated with avian mourning aesthetics. Ren walked toward it. Each step was measured. The projection followed, speaking cheerfully at his side. Feather ornaments appear frequently in red crane visual culture. Their exact social function remains debated. Some scholars propose rank markers, while others suggest purely decorative use in ritualized grief expression. Ren stopped before the case. He read the words. Then, he touched the feather at his ear. The room was cold. His hand was warm. The plaque had preserved the shape. It had not preserved the weight. Ren looked at the empty velvet rest where the feather had lain. Someone had taken it from June, or from June's children, or from whatever road had carried the records until history found a price and a glass box. He did not know yet. That ignorance pressed against his ribs. He wanted names, roads, witnesses, debts. Instead, he had a museum full of explanations. A small service drone floated from a wall panel near the ceiling. Ren saw it before it moved. A round device, no larger than a bowl, with 4 quiet fans and a blinking blue sensor. It glided toward the empty cocoon platform and projected a grid of light over the dust crescent. Ren turned toward it. The drone ignored him. No breath, no intent, no fear. It scanned the dust. A red notification appeared in the air. Central artifact displacement detected. Containment object absent. Possible theft event. Security review pending. Ren read none of it. He heard the tone. He saw the grid crossing the dust where his cocoon had been. He understood a tool marking remains for ownership. His fingers flexed. The drone drifted lower, passing close to his shoulder. He stepped aside before it touched him. Not quickly, early. The drone corrected course, confused by where its sensor expected him to be. It turned. Ren turned with it. For a moment, man and machine faced each other in the cold exhibit room. The drone extended a thin sampling arm toward the red-black dust. Ren's hand rose, then stopped. The dust was no longer a cocoon. The oath had spent it. Let the machine examine ashes if it wished. Ashes did not explain fire. Ren lowered his hand. The drone took its sample. The sample dissolved before reaching the storage capsule. The drone chirped, recalibrated, tried again. The second sample dissolved too. Ren watched the device fail. His face remained grave. But the small, dry ember under his grief warmed again. The future, at least, was capable of embarrassment. He moved past the drone. A wider gallery opened beyond the main exhibit. Dark glass doors stood along the wall, each leading to smaller rooms. Above them hovered titles in bright script: Lineage and Myth, Movement Reconstruction, Collapse-Era Conflict, Children's Interactive Learning Wing. The last title made him stop. Children. The word still had power over him. He approached the door. It opened before he touched it. Ren's hand snapped back. The door slid sideways into the wall with a smooth sigh. No servant, no handle, no push. He studied the opening, then the track above it, then the tiny sensor near the frame. After a moment, he stepped through. The children's wing was smaller, warmer in color, and more insulting by accident. Soft light, rounded cases, low platforms, simplified weapons fixed to magnetic stands, a mural of smiling cartoon cranes painted along one wall. A teaching screen showed animated figures bowing incorrectly in cheerful loops. Ren stood in the doorway. The room smelled faintly of cleaning fluid and artificial flowers. A display invited young visitors to try a Red Crane balance pose. A small pressure mat waited on the floor, shaped like 2 feet. Ren looked at it. A child's recorded voice laughed from somewhere inside the wall. "Can you stand like a Red Crane, master?" Ren stepped onto the mat. It lit up beneath his bare feet. The screen chirped. "Great try. Place your feet wider apart." Ren looked down. His feet did not move. The screen chimed again. "Bend your knees and stretch your arms like wings." Ren slowly turned his head toward the screen. A happy, animated crane demonstrated a ridiculous stance no master in any century would have allowed near a training courtyard. The system waited. Ren waited back. After 5 seconds, the screen displayed a bright yellow message. "Need help? Try again." Ren stepped off the mat. The screen sighed in cheerful disappointment. "Almost." A long silence followed. Ren looked around the children's wing. If any of his juniors had seen this, the mountain would have echoed with laughter until Master Shen appeared. Then the laughter would have become stance practice. A low sound escaped Ren. It was not quite a laugh, not close enough to heal anything, but it was human. The sound startled him more than the door had. It faded quickly. He walked to the far wall. There, behind a child-height glass case, rested a small wooden training cup. Ren's breath caught. The cup was plain, cracked at the rim, darkened by tea. Too ordinary for a museum, which meant someone with sense had failed to stop the acquisition. The plaque called it a common domestic vessel, found near Red Crane-associated ruins. Ren crouched before it. A copper stain marked the base. Not copper. Tea. Old tea, perhaps. or the trace of hands that used copper tokens. Hollow cup. The name rose from memory, dim and half-heard. Kitchen whispers. Old Han muttering about tea sellers who heard too much. Sister Ma pressing a copper token into his palm. Auntie Chu standing with a cup in her hand while armed men broke into her hidden room. The museum had placed the cup in the children's wing, a common domestic vessel. Ren bowed his head, not deeply, not formally. Enough. A flicker passed through the case. The cup shifted one finger width toward him. Ren stilled. The room did not. The teaching screen continued its cheerful loop behind him. The animated crane spread its wings. The cup remained angled toward Ren. A hidden road, even here? Or only memory reacting to memory? He did not know. He knew enough to mark it. Ren rose. Outside the children's wing, a sound echoed from the main hall. Not machine hum. Footsteps. Human. Heavy boots trying to be quiet and failing. Ren turned toward the sound. His body changed before his expression did. Shoulders loose, breath low, weight settled. The museum lights seemed colder now. The drone near the cocoon platform chirped again. A red alert pulsed silently above it. Ren watched the doorway. The footsteps stopped beyond the gallery entrance. Someone spoke. The words came through the museum system first, smooth and translated wrong. Unauthorized presence detected in Gallery 7. Ren did not understand the phrase. He understood the breath behind it. Tension, confusion, a hand close to a weapon. The projection woman appeared beside him again, smiling as if the world had not shifted. For your safety, please remain calm while station security assistance arrives. Ren looked at the light woman, then at the entrance. A narrow beam swept across the floor. White light. Then the shape of a man filled the doorway. Armored. Human, or near enough. One hand holding a compact metal weapon Ren did not know. The guard froze. Ren stood barefoot among the relics of his dead sect. Long red hair falling over ruined red and black robes. White red feather tied to his right ear. Museum dust at his feet, and 600 years of silence behind his eyes. The guard saw the empty cocoon platform, the dust crescent, the cracked display, the missing feather case. Then he saw Ren. His weapon rose. Ren did not move. The guard swallowed once. Fear had a language older than any translator, and Ren Zhaohun had heard it before.